counter pick for Rooster last game actually ended up working out very, very well. We'll see if this time it'll change. I do think that the Azir being taken away makes a pretty big difference when it comes to the late game damage that Humble Life has compared to last game. Roamer did do a lot of heavy lifting, but it also means that their mid game is a lot better than it was, right? Because Ahri actually has a decent amount of threat, while I think that it is pretty low damage that is available. If you can sync up with the Kai'Sa in particular, and you add a Jax on top of that, I do think you're going to be feeling good. Jax into Rumble, though, I think is way worse than the Cassante.
Yeah, can you tell me what Counter-Strike does to Flame Spitter?
It reduces the damage by, I want to say, like 25%.
Okay.
But it doesn't block all the damage.
No.
It doesn't actually do that, because that's auto attacks.
Yeah. To the Azir variety, because we know like jumping over the Sand Soldiers has been something that Tristana can abuse in the early stages of that particular matchup.
Yeah, I think Ahri has a little bit more agency than the Azir does early on. I do think that landing charms consistently can be very hard, as we do have Phantos going for the E start here, as does Rooster. And he's lethal tempo, so his level 1 is insane. Phantos might have to flash here. Not going to be the case. Exit trade shouldn't be too horrible if he can land the second spear as well, which he will. And this just means that both junglers should path top, because he's not spotted on the top half of the map, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, that is going to be the headbutt back onto Rahel. We'll see whether he is going to be able to flash his way to safety. The cleanse is decent, but the ignite is still ticking, and that is first blood going to Lua. Thumb just going to wander his way out. Lua is real scary even before any items have come through. That is a great adaptation in play here to get the bottom lane ahead early.
This top side matchup is the one that I'm really going to be looking for. Rooster with that solo kill really took all the sail out of Thanatos as the hook lands, but
I'm not sure about that one. Yeah, Thumb taking so much damage back here, as at least Rahel able to chase down Duro. There is a flash to get the stun. The Ignite is ticking. Rahel wants to grab the kill. The Ignite doesn't have an extra tick, though, as the Blade Caller going to come through onto Lua, but he is just going to cleanse it, and he should be all right, as man, that was close. Both supports limping out of the situation.
Yeah, and with a single flash available, that could have been the end of it as, oh, I like this contest. Thumb is so low.
Oh dear, he eats honey fruit.
He should know, they should know. They know that they're in that brush. Now they definitely do.
Yeah.
As all the health bars are lower, I think D+ might have to peace out.
They're trying to go for the split fight here as in goes Poolbay and out goes Poolbay via the Death Chamber. Not sure about that one. It's going to go in favor of D+, given the fact that they can theoretically collect themselves a couple of plates off the back of it. Yeah, he's level 6, so does have Featherstorm as Guon is coming in. There is the Featherstorm. It's going to be used. Blade Caller threatened. There's the flash. Good flash in response from Guon. Tanks up the turret beautifully. They're able to grab themselves their 4th kill of the game as Duro gonna flash away from D+, and they cannot catch a break on this Rift right now. Everything going the way of Humble Life Esports.
And we do see that the kills are very, very much in favor here, as Lure does have his flash. Guon uses his ult.
There's a flash forward into the crash down there. Great hook this time from Thumb as the Bramble Smash does push him away as Poolbay looking for some of these resets. Lucid Magnet Storms, but then he's immediately dead as Poolbay's dead once again as well. Lua doing so much damage. This should be a triple for the bottom lane, but no, they give one of them over to Roma, spreading the love here on the side of Humble Life. And Thanatos pushed out of his lane once again as well. Gonna stick around for another wave. Man, Romer has been playing very, very well.
Yeah, him and Lure both looking incredible today.
Another charm going to connect. That could just be a solo kill, as the rocket jump does get Poolbay out to relative safety, but we can see Guon coming in. Oh, the Void Seeker almost finds him. And Thanatos is just having a roughie here towards this top side. Does have teleport, but there is a ward here in this brush that he's thinking about backing in, and he's gonna have to go all the way back to the inner turret.
Yeah, if D+ aren't able to get this dragon, I think the game is, or at least win a fight, I think the game is very quickly going to be over. They're basically relying on getting one of these shutdowns. TP comes in.
Yeah, Roma coming on down towards his bottom side as Lucid just CC'd forever. Magnastorm does get used, but Lua just immediately cleanses. The Rel going to be taken down as now Rahel not going to be able to do anything. He'll just be food for Lua once again. 5-0-2. on this Kai'Sa. It's just getting out of control for Life Esports as Thanatos is at least pushing here in this top lane, and Poolbay will be able to get more plates in mid.
Maybe like once or twice last game.
Lure, I think, yeah, a couple
KDA
there are a
on
couple
this,
of kills.
on this Kai'Sa is going to remain very, very ridiculous, as might have gotten a kill on Romer here
as well. You love to see it.
Yeah, pretty sure Romer just dies.
Yeah, he is just dead. Managed to get that auto attack.
That's very necessary. I don't think that equalizes it at all, but it means that at least D+ has a fighting chance. The kill, the shutdown actually going over to Poolbay, plus him getting the first turtle blood.
Not going to take too much damage though. Merc Tread's working out quite nicely as Thanatos continuing to lose out on these trades.
Oh, he's so dead.
Voidseeker going to be avoided as Duro is coming in and he has got an unbreakable will. There is a flash, special delivery. Still the flash comes through, but the killer instinct is going to be there. And now Life Esports might be able to just take this turret. We'll see whether they can. Not a lot of minions in the area. They've just not looked the same. It
always comes back to them, doesn't it?
Honestly, like the Giga Chads, they generally start the majority of things. As Thanatos is just trying to set up the fire in the right spot. He equalizes the wave, and that is the amount of confidence that he has in surviving that trade. And yeah, and
might have to give his life for it. I think he is just saying, "All right, I am definitely dead."
There are a lot of buddies in this area. As yeah, he's just dead, but he's not going to be able to take the turret. As Lure not going to take the long way around, almost walked into Thumb and Lucid, although there's the dive. Rahel not really there to offer too much damage. Nice little pickup with the hook, as there it is. The Featherstorm going to come down. Roma looking for it, and the D+ Kia desperation does kind of continue. Rooster's also going to get one as he takes down the Rel, and Thumb, he's just left out for the Wolves, man. The sapling going to slow him down, and he misses the dredge line on a wall. Couldn't have been any worse. Had some issues with keeping it together mentally more than anything else. We know what even the main roster of D+ Kia are capable of as the individual players is once again caught out of position. That is just a dead Rahel. Standing in the middle of the mid lane with no information. And will just be crashed into.
It is. It might be, as the kids say, very Hover.
Yeah, it's feeling Brover, my man. But the Baron, this could be the way for D+. As a hook is going to connect onto the cow. There's an equalizer to deny them an exit from the pit. As the Nature's Grasp, maybe a little bit too early, but that is a great pushback. Oh, the Buster Shot is good, but it is the Maokai that secures the Baron. There goes the Nautilus as well, as now it is just Lure's playground. Oh! Rooster as well popping off in the fight, and that is everyone except for Rahel and Thanatos dead. And Rahel's only alive because he just got out of the death chamber. But that means that he's got 21 deaths in total on this champion. And that KDA is still going to be well and truly intact. As D+ trying to defend this inner turret. I don't know whether I recommend that, as the charm is going to connect. Lucid taking a lot of damage. Roma Spirit rushing around, and they are going to be able to take down the Rel. It's an easy pick-off onto this Tristana as well. Headbutt Pole comes down. That's the triple for Lure, who's sitting on 11, 1, and 6. As now Romer is looking for even more, wants to find the charm as Rahel. Now going to try and turn it now that that is on cooldown, but it's not going to be on cooldown for long. Still, inner turret falls in this mid lane, and Life Esports, that is one heck of a Baron power play. That is like 11,000 times larger than any other Baron power play that we've seen.
And Romer continuously looking for the flank here. 16-stack Magi, by the way.
Yeah, Romer is just living his best life as the Nature's Grasp is going to grab a hold of Lucid, and he is unable to do anything. Thumb also not going to be able to get out of this one. The inner turret is going to fall, as Thumb is actually able to at least get back to this inhibitor turret, but I think that the future may hold another death, as that is going to be a decent buffer of the rocket jump from Poolbay. But as we were talking about, that's a dead Thumb. The pullback is decent on those feathers, but the carries are still alive. That is an ace. And Life Esports, 27-5. Cloud Soul, the Baron power play of the gods. And now some dead Nexus turrets. It is looking real tough for D+ Kia here as they move towards match point for Life Esports. They haven't dropped a single game here in the playoffs. This is an incredible run from this team.
And I'm going to remind you, first of all, to vote. I'm already
yes.
there with you. Might just put the 2x in, because I am also a Duro enjoyer in this
100%.
one. Although Romer, I think, also a perfectly fine vote. I think that there are two sides to the story. One, obviously, D+, they struggled somewhat during the end of the split, but a lot of it was against teams like Hanwha, right? Yes, they lost against T1, but all the other games that or the series rather that they dropped were against good teams. Today, we're not even seeing a glimpse of that. But also, as you said, Hanwha Live are just looking incredible. It's the early dominance. It starts off with Guwon going for the early impact, gets the level 3 game.
Yeah.
Then Romer, his timing on so many of these plays, combined with the fact that Duro and Alistair has just been doing a stellar job. And this game, a complete blowout. And I'm 100% certain that D+ is going to completely try and revamp the draft, because the Maokai in particular, I think, is maybe more important than the Tristana at this point, with Poolbay being pretty middling on it, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. We're going to need a pretty Herculean effort here if D+ want to keep this series interesting. But Hanwha Live look incredibly well positioned in this one. And Romer, yeah, him and Duro were the standouts for me here in this second game. And game number 1 was already very good, but the charm's absolutely on point here. And that combined with the early roams, which, you know, you can't really avoid it. But it was actually extremely impactful and set up. And when there is a 14-1 Kai'Sa in the game, and that's not the guy you talk about, that's pretty telling.